them one of her special stories and recited one of her special poems. And finally they were asleep, and she went down to the porch, and Dennis rose from his chair, and...
You've been away a long time, Miss Raymond.
Putting your kids to bed was hard work.
Are you laughing up your sleeve at them, or do you just plain hate them?
My sleeve's only a wisp of loyal. It wouldn't hold a very big laugh. And I'm too lazy to hate people.
Your arms are pretty, but they're not the sort that could learn to cuddle a child. Your voice, your stories and poems, they completely fooled us. Well, I'm off to bed, Miss Raymond. Big day tomorrow. I hope you sleep well.
Dennis Maxwell was up and out of the house long before Monica opened her eyes. So she had breakfast with the children hanging over her, and then she was taken on a tour of inspection.
Daddy, give me what's funny. I'll show you my kitty yet. No. I want to show her my kitten.
All right, just a minute. I'll see the kitten first because that's the girl. She has priority.
My kitten's great, and she has blue eyes, Aunt Monica.
Oh.
What's in the rain?
Well, it's that flimsy stuff they put on top of lemon pie. You know, it's whites of eggs and sugar all beaten up into a stiff sauce. Why do you ask?
Daddy was talking to himself this morning.
Oh?
Well, he said you were like Frank. I think Daddy's sort of disappointed because you haven't got white hair. But you have got a sweet smile. When you smile.
Dennis Maxwell was remote at noon dinner, so Monica was equally remote. But it took some doing, because the kids had fallen for her hard. And she was mad about them, and, well, almost mad about their father. A week went by, and she tried to act sophisticated, to wisecrack and be bristle, for if I let go, she told herself, I'm licked. I lay myself wide open to be hurt again. Things reached a climax when Jackie ran to meet his father one night and fell in the gravel path and got up screaming.
Honey, Monica, come quick. Get the herb blade and make her well. Get the herb blade, please.
Now get up and don't be such a baby. Only sissies cry.
Miss Raymond, haven't you any human sympathy? Come with me, Jackie. I'll put peroxide on your knee.
I don't want peroxide. I want Monica to get it and make you well.
You'd better go with your father, Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie. Come on, stop crying. Come along with me, son.
Can you understand Monica's attitude? Dennis Maxwell couldn't, but I can. If she'd kissed that banged-up knee, if she'd held Jackie in her arms, all her resolutions would have gone out the window. That night after supper, when Beth and Jackie were in bed and asleep, and Dennis spoke abruptly, she wasn't surprised.
You look like an angel on the Christmas tree, Miss Raymond, but you're as hard as nails.
Yes, aren't I? Nice, shiny nails.
Children's mother was gentle and kind. I told myself that I owed it to them to fill the place she left vacant.
Always thinking of the children, aren't you? Never of yourself.
A man has a right to consider himself, and well, then again he hasn't. When I first saw you, I thought, Miss Raymond, you'd better go back to the city tomorrow morning.
Yes, I'd better. Can you take time out to drive me to the depot?
I can arrange to take time out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go to bed.
So Dennis vanished, and Monica made her way upstairs and started to pack. But all at once, as if drawn by an invisible magnet, she went tiptoeing across the hall and into the children's room and knelt between their beds. And suddenly she was praying.
Oh, God. Make their lives full and beautiful. That someone coming over, someone who's untouched, who loves them as much as I do.
There you are, Aunt Monica.
Jackie. Does your knee hurt very badly?
No, it don't hurt one bit. You wanted to kiss it, didn't you?
Yes, Jackie, I did. So terribly much.
I know. And so did Beth. But Daddy didn't know.
Well, you're smarter than he is. Jackie, I'm going away tomorrow.
Well, why are you going to leave us when you love us?
Well, I can't answer that.
Maybe I can. I was a dope not to understand.
What are you doing here?
Listening. Children are queer, but even so, they're able to see into hearts when grown-ups can't.
Why did you put on the act? What? To fool you. But there are a couple of other reasons.
Kiss me good night, Aunt Monica.
Good night, Jackie.
Kiss back good night, too.
Yes, darling, I will. Good night, both of you. Good night, darling.
And now you'll come down to the porch with me and explain.
Well, it may take me quite a while to explain. Dennis, there's a swell guy and a little baby up in heaven. And maybe your children's mother's there, too. And maybe she's holding my baby close, right now. Just as I'll be holding her children close, here on earth, from now on.
Lost a child, there's some mother in heaven who has left her children on earth. It's heartwarming and deeply comforting to feel that they may get together in that place beyond the sunset. Perhaps Monica Raymond was guided to the Maxwell farm by a divine providence. And perhaps the constant phone calls from Mickey Truesdale were just an instrument in that direction.
Here is Betty Davis to tell you more about Mickey Truesdale.
Michael, Mickey for short, Truesdale, asked Monica Raymond to dine with him and to spend a weekend at the beach in his cottage. He got a decisive brush-off for his pains. But Monica wasn't the only girl to whom Mickey gave invitations, sometimes presents, and he didn't always get a brush-off. I'll tell you about a Red Riding Hood who accepted the wolf's invitation with dire results. Until then, this is Betty Davis saying goodbye from the Whispering Street.
Today's program was written by Margaret E. Sangster. Featured in the cast were Lillian Baeff, Barney Phillips, Charlotte Lawrence, Gigi Pearson, and Kathy Garver. Whispering Streets was directed by Gordon T. Hughes and produced by Ted Lloyd. Your announcer is George Walsh.
Whispering Streets has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.